If music be the food of love, play on. Give me excess of it, that surfeiting the appetite may sicken and so die. That strain again, it had a dying fall. Oh, it came o'er my ear like the sweet sound that breathes upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. Enough, no more. 'Tis not so sweet now as it was before. O spirit of love, how quick and fresh art thou, that notwithstanding thy capacity receiveth as the sea. Naught enters there, of what validity and pitch soe'er, but falls into abatement and low price, even in a minute. So full of shapes is fancy, that it alone is high fantastical.
Will you go hunt, my lord?
What, Curio?
The hart.
Why, so I do. The noblest that I have. Oh, when mine eyes did see Olivia first, methought she purged the air of pestilence. That instant was I turned into a hart, and my desires like fell and cruel hounds e'er since pursue me. How now, what news from her?
So please, my lord, I might not be admitted, but from her handmaid do return this answer. The element itself, till 7 years' heat, shall not behold her face at ample view. But, like a cloistress, she'll veiled walk, and water once a day her chamber with eye-offending brine. All this to season a brother's dead love, which she would keep fresh and lasting in her sad remembrance.
O she, that hath a heart of that fine frame, to pay this debt of love but to a brother. How will she love when the rich golden shaft hath purged the flock of all affections else that live in her? When liver, brain, and heart, these sovereign thrones, are all supplied and filled, her sweet perfections, with one self-king. Away before me, to sweet beds of flowers, love thoughts lie rich when canopied with bowers.
What country, friends, is this? This is Illyria, lady. And what should I do in Illyria? My brother, he's in Elysium. Perchance he's not drowned. What think you, sailors?
It is perchance that you yourself were saved.
Oh, my poor brother. And so perchance may he be.
True, man, and to comfort you with chance, assure yourself. After our ship did split, when you and those poor numbers saved with you hung on our driving boat, I saw your brother, most provident in peril, bind himself, courage and hope both teaching him the practice, to a strong mast that lived upon the sea, where like Arion upon the dolphin's back, I saw him hold acquaintance with the waves, so long as I could see.
For saying so, there's gold. Mine own escape unfolds to my hope, whereto thy speech serves for authority, the likes of him. Knowst thou this country?
Aye, madam, well, for I was bred and born not 3 hours' travel from this very place.
Who governs here?
A noble duke, in nature as in name.
What's the name?
Orsino.
Orsino! I have heard my father name him. He was a bachelor then.
And so is now, or so was, very late. For but a month ago I went from hence, and then 'twas fresh in murmur, as you know, what great ones do, the less will prattle of, that he did seek the love of fair Olivia.
What's she?
A virtuous maid, the daughter of a count, who died some 12 months since. Thereafter leaving her in the protection of his son, her brother, who shortly also died, for whose dear love, they say, she hath endured the company and sight of men.
Oh, that I served this lady, and might not be delivered to the world till I had made mine own occasion mellow what my estate is.
That were hard to compass, because she will admit no kind of suit. No, not the duke's.
There is a fair behavior in thee, Captain. And though that nature with a beauteous wall doth oft close in pollution, yet of thee I will believe thou hast a mind that suits with this thy fair and outward character. I prithee, and I'll pay thee bounteously, conceal me what I am, and be my aid, for such disguise as haply may become the form of my intent. I'll serve this duke. Thou shalt present me as a eunuch to him. It may be worth thy pains, for I can sing and speak to him in many sorts of music that will allow me very worth his service. What else mayhap to time I will commit, only shape thou thy silence to my wit.
Be you his eunuch, and your mute I'll be. When my tongue blabs, then let mine eyes not see.
I thank thee. Lead me on.
What a plague means my niece to take the death of her brother thus? I am sure care is an enemy to life.
By my troth, Sir Toby, you must come in earlier nights. Your cousin, my lady, takes good exception to your hours.
Why, let her accept before accepted.
But you must confine yourself within the modest limits of order.
Confine? I'll confine myself no finer than I am. These clothes are good enough for drinking in, and so be these boots too. And they be not, let them hang themselves in their own straps.
That quaffing and drinking will undo you. I heard my lady speak of it yesterday. And of a foolish knight you brought in here, one night to be her wooer.
Who, Sir Andrew Agacheek?
Aye, he.
He's as tall a man as any is in Illyria.
Puts that to the purpose.
Why, he has 3,000 ducats a year.
He'll have but a year in all those ducats. He's a very fool and a prodigal.
Fine that you say so. He plays with the ville de gamboys and speaks 3 or 4 different languages word for word without book, and hath all the good gifts of nature.
He hath indeed. Almost natural. For besides that, he's a fool. He's a great quarreler. And but for that, he hath the gift of a coward to allay the gust he hath in quarreling. 'Tis thought among the prudent, he would quickly have the gift of a grave.
By his hand, they are scoundrels and substractors that say so of him. Who are they?
They that add moreover, he's drunk nightly in your company.
With drinking health to my niece. I'll drink to her as long as there is a passage in my throat and drink in Illyria. He's a coward and a coistrel who will not drink to my niece till his head turns all the toe like a parish top. What wench? Castiliano, vulgo. For here comes Sir Andrew Agaface.
Sir Toby Belch! How now, Sir Toby Belch?
Sweet Sir Andrew.
Bless you, fair shrew.
And you too, sir.
Accost, Sir Andrew, accost.
What's that?
My niece's chambermaid.
Good Mistress Accost, I desire better acquaintance.
My name is Mary, sir.
Good Mistress Mary Accost.
You mistake, knight. Accost is front her, board her, woo her, assail her.
By my troth, I will not undertake her in this company. Is that the meaning of accost?
Fare you well, gentlemen.
And thou that art so, Sir Andrew, would thou mightst never draw sword again.
And you part so, mistress. I would I might never draw sword again. Fair lady, do you think you have any fools in hand?
Sir, I have not you by the hand.
Marry, but you shall have, and here's my hand.
Now, sir, thought is free. I pray you, bring your hand to the buttery bar and let it drink.
Wherefore, sweetheart? What's your metaphor?
It's dry, sir.
Oh, why, I think so. I'm not such an ass, but I can keep my hand dry. But what's your jest?
A dry jest, sir.
Are you full of them?
Mary, I have them at my fingers' end. Now I let go your hand, I am bare.
Oh, knight, thou lackest a cup of canary. When did I see thee so put down?
Never in your life, I think. Unless you see canary put me down. Methinks sometimes that I have no more wit than a Christian, or an ordinary man. But I am a great eater of beef, and I believe that does harm to my wit.
No question.
And I thought that I'd forswear it. I'll ride home tomorrow, Sir Toby.
Pourquoi, my dear knight?
What is pourquoi? Do or not do? I would I had bestowed that time in the tongues that I have in fencing, dancing, or bear baiting. Oh, had I but followed the arts.
Then hadst thou had an excellent head of hair.
Why? Will that have mended my hair?
No question, for thou seest it will not curl by nature.
But it becomes me well enough, does not?
Excellent, it hangs like flax on a distaff.
Faith, our home tomorrow, Sir Toby. Your niece shall not be seen. Where she be, it's 4-1 that she'll none of me. For the Count himself here, hard by, woos her.
She'll none of the Count. She'll not match above her degree, neither in estates, in years, nor wit. Tut, there's life in it, man.
I'll stay a month longer. I am a fellow of the strangest mind in the world, and I delight in masks and revels, sometimes all together.
Art thou good at these kickshawses nights?
Has any man in Illyria, whatsoever he be, under the degree of my betters, and yet I will not compare with an old man.
What is thy excellence in a galliard, knight?
Faith, I can cut a caper,
And I can cut the mutton to it.
and I think I have the back trick simply as strong as any man in Illyria.
Wherefore are these things hid? Wherefore have these gifts a curtain before 'em? Are they like to take dust like Mistress Mall's picture? Why dost thou not go to church in a galliard and come home in a coranto? My very watch would be a jig. I would not so much as make water but in a syncopace. What dost thou mean? Is it a world I virtues in? I did think, by the excellent constitution of thy leg, that it was formed under the star of a galliard knight.
I, 'tis strong, and would do indifferent well in a dun-colored stock. Shall we set about some revels?
What else shall we do? Were we not born under Taurus?
Taurus? That's sight and heart.
No, sir, it is legs and thighs. Let me see thee caper. Fire! Excellent!
If the Duke continue these favors towards you, Cesario, you are like to be much advanced. He hath known you but 3 days, and already you're no stranger.
You either fear his humor or my negligence, that you call into question the continuance of his love. Is he inconstant, sir, in his favor?
No, leave me.
I thank thee. Here comes the Count.
Who saw Cesario, ho?
By your attendance, my lord, here.
Stand you a while aloof. Cesario, thou knowest no less but all. I have unclasped to thee the book even of my secret soul. Therefore, good youth, address thy gate unto her. Stand at her doors. Tell them there thy fixed foot shall grow till thou have audience.
Sure, my lord, if she be so abandoned to her sorrow as 'tis spoke, she never will admit me.
Be clamorous and leap all civil bounds, rather than make unprofited return.
Say I do speak with her, my lord. What then?
Oh then, unfold the passion of my love. Surprise her with discourse of my dear faith. It shall become thee well to act my woes. She will attend it better in thy youth than in a nuncio's of more grave aspect.
I think not so, my lord.
Dear lad, believe it, for they shall yet belie thy happy years that say thou art a man. Diana's lip is not more smooth than Rubius. Thy small pipe is as the maiden's organ, shrill and sound, and all is semblative a woman's part. I know thy constellation is right apt for this affair. Some 4 or 5 attend him, all if you will, for I myself am best and least in company. Prosper well in this, and thou shalt live as freely as thy lord, and call his fortunes thine.
I'll do my best to woo your lady. Yet a barful strife, whoe'er I woo, myself would be his wife. Nay, either tell me where thou hast been, or I will not open my mouth so wide as a bristle man should weigh thy excuse. The lady will hang thee for thy absence.
Let her hang me. He that is well hanged in this world needs to fear no colors.
Make that good.
He shall see none to fear.
A good Lenten answer. I can tell you where that saying was born of, I fear no colors.
Where, good Mistress Mary?
In the wars, and that you may be so bold as to say in your foolery.
Well, God give them wisdom that have it, and those that are fools, let them use their talents.
Yet you will be hanged for being so long absent, or turned away. Is that not as good as hanging to you?
Many a good hanging prevents a bad marriage. And for turning away, let summer bear it out.
You are resolved then?
Not so neither, but I am resolved on 2 points.
That if one fail, the other hold, or if both fail, your gaskins fall?
Act in good faith, very apt. Well, go thy ways. If Sir Toby would quit drinking, thou wert as witty a piece of his flesh as any in Illyria.
Peace, rogue! No more of that. Here comes my lady. Make your excuses wisely, were best.
Wit, an it be thy will, put me into good fooling. Those wits that think they have thee do very oft prove fools, and I, that am sure I lack thee, may pass for a wise man. For what says Chronopolis?
Better a witty fool than a foolish wit! That was the lady!
Take the fool away.
Do not, dear fellows, take away the lady.
Go to, you're a dry fool. I'll know more of you. Besides, you grow dishonest.
2 faults, Madonna, that drink in good counsel will amend. Forgive the dry fool a drink, then is the fool not dry. Bid the dishonest man mend himself. If he mend, he is no longer dishonest. If not, let the botcher mend him. Anything that's mended is but patched. Virtue that transgresses is but patched with sin, and sin that amends is but patched with virtue. That this simple syllogism may serve, so. If it will not, what remedy? As there is no true cuckold but calamity, so beauty's a flower. The lady bade take away the fool. Therefore I say again, take her away.
Sirrah, I bade them take away you.
Misprision in the highest degree. Lady, cucullus non facit monachum. That's as much as to say I wear not motley in my brain. Good Madonna, give me leave to prove you a fool.
Can you do it?
Dexterously, good Madonna.
Make your proof.
I must catechize you for it. God, my mouse of virtue, answer me.
Well, sir, for want of other idleness, I'll bide your proof.
Good Madonna, why mournest thou?
Good fool, for my brother's death.
I think his soul is in hell, Madonna.
I know his soul's in heaven, fool.
The more fool, Madonna, to mourn your brother's soul being in heaven. Take away the fool, gentlemen.
What think you of this fool, Malvolio? Doth he not mend?
Yes, and shall do till pangs of death shake him. Infirmity that decays the wise doth ever make the better fool.
God send you, sir, a speedy infirmity, the better to increase your folly. Sir Toby will be sworn I'm no fox, but he will not pass his word for tuppence that you are no fool.
How say you to that, Malvolio?
I marvel your lady takes delight at such a barren rascal. I saw him put down the other day with a fool with no more brain than a stone. Unless you laugh and minister to him, he is gagged. I protest I take these wise men that crows who at these set kind of fools no better than the fool Zades.
Oh, you are sick of self-love, Malvolio, and taste with a distempered appetite. To be generous, guiltless, and of free disposition is to take those things for bird bolts that you deem cannon bullets. There is no slander in a loud fool, though he do nothing but rail, nor is there railing in a known discreet man, though he do nothing but reprove.
Now, Mercury endue thee with leasing, for thou speakest well of fools.
Madame, there is at the gate a young gentleman much desired to speak with you.
From the Count Orsino, is it?
I know not, madam. 'Tis a fair young man, and well attended.
Who of my people hold him in delay?
Sir Toby, madam, your kinsman.
Fetch him off, I pray you. He speaks nothing but madman. Go you, Malvolio, and if it be a suit from the Count, I am sick or not at home. What you will to dismiss it. Now you see, sir, how your fooling grows old and people dislike it.
Thou hast spoke for us, Madonna, as if thy eldest son should be a fool, whose skull Jove cram with brains. For here he comes. One of your kin has a most weak pia mater.
By mine honor, half drunk. What is he at the gate, cousin?
A gentleman!
A gentleman? What gentleman?
There's a gentleman here. The plague of these pickled hair. How now? Sock
Good, Sir Toby.
Cousin, how have you come so early by this lethargy?
Lechery! I defy Lechery. There's one at the gate.
Aye, Mary, what is he?
None of me the devil me will, I care not. Give me faith, says I. Well, it's all one.
What's a drunken man like, fool?
Like a drowned man, a fool and a madman. One draught above heat makes the third drowns him.
Go, seek the crowner, and let him sit on my cuz. For he is in the 3rd degree of drink. He is drowned. Go and look after him.
He is but mad yet, Madonna, and the fool shall look to the madman.
Madam, yon young fellow swears he will speak with you. I told him you were sick. He takes on himself to understand so much, and therefore comes to speak with you. I told him you were asleep. He seems to have a foreknowledge of that too, and therefore comes to speak with you. What is to be said to him, lady? He is completely fortified against any denial.
Tell him he shall not speak with me.
Has been told so, and says he will stand at your door like a sheriff's post, and be the supporter to a bench, but he will see you.
What kind of man is he?
Why, of mankind,
What manner a man?
a very ill man. He will speak with you, will you or no?
Of what personage and years is he?
Oh, not yet old enough to be a man, nor young enough for a boy. As a peace card is before one 'tis a squash, or a codling when 'tis almost an apple. It is with him in standing water between boy and man. He is very well favored, and speaks very shrewdly. One would think his mother's milk was scarce out of him.
Go, call him hither.
Gentle, my lady calls.
Bring me my veil. Come, throw it on my face. We'll once more hear Orsino's embassy. The honorable lady of the house. Which is she? Speak to me, I shall answer for her. Most radiant, exquisite, and unmatchable beauty. I pray you, tell me if you be the lady of the house, for I never saw her. I would be loath to cast away my speech, for besides that it is excellently well penned, I have taken great pains to con it. Good beauties, let me sustain no scorn. I am very comfortable, even to the least sinister usage. Whence came you, sir? I can say little more than I have studied, and that question's out of my part. Good gentle one, give me modest assurance if you be the lady of the house, that I may proceed in my speech. Are you a comedian? No, my profound heart. And yet, by the very fangs of malice, I swear, I am not that I play. Are you the lady of the house? If I do not usurp myself, I am. Most certain, if you are she, you do usurp yourself. For what is yours to bestow is not yours to reserve. But this is from my commission. I will on with my speech in your praise, and then show you the heart of my message. Come to what is important in it. I forgive you the praise. Alas, I have taken great pains to con it, and 'tis poetical. It is the more like to be feigned. I pray you, keep it in. I heard you were saucy at my gates, and allowed your approach to wonder at you rather than to hear you. If you be not mad, be gone. If you have reason, be brief. 'Tis not that time of moon with me to make one in so skipping a dialogue. Will you hoist sail, sir? Here lies your way. No, good swabber. I am to hold here a little while longer. Some mollification for your giant, sweet lady. Tell me your mind. I am a messenger. Sure you have some hideous matter to deliver when the courtesy of it is so fearful. It alone concerns your ear. I bring no overture of war, no taxation of homage. I hold the olive in my hand. My words are as full of peace as matter. Yet you began rudely. What are you? What would you? The rudeness that hath appeared in me have I learned from my entertainment. What I am and what I would are as secret as maidenhead. To your ears, divinity. To any others, profanation. Give us the place alone. We will hear this divinity. Now, sir, what is your text? Sweet lady! A comfortable doctrine, and much may be said of it. Where lies your text? In Orsino's bosom. In his bosom? In what chapter of his bosom? To answer by the method, in the first of his heart. Oh, I have read it. It is heresy. Have you no more to say? Sweet lady, let me see your face. Have you any commission from your lord to negotiate with my face? You are now out of your text. But we will draw the curtain and show you the picture. Look you, sir, such a one I was this present. Is it not well done? Excellently done. If God did all. 'Tis engraved, sir, 'twill endure wind and weather. 'Tis beauty truly blent, whose red and white nature's own sweet and cunning hand laid on. Lady, you are the cruelest she alive, if you will lead these graces to the grave and leave the world no copy. Oh, sir, I shall not be so hard-hearted. I shall give out divers schedules of my beauty, and shall be inventoried in every particle and utensil labeled to my will as item 2 lips, indifferent red, item 2 gray eyes with lids to them, item 1 neck, 1 chin, and so forth. Were you sent hither to praise me?
I see what you are. You are too proud. But if you were the devil, you are fair. My lord and master loves you. Oh, such love could be but recompense, though you were crowned the non-pariah beauty.
How does he love me?
With adorations, with fertile tears, with groans that thunder love, with sighs of fire.
Your lord does know my mind. I cannot love him. Yet, I suppose him virtuous, know him noble, of great estate, of fresh and stainless youth, of voices well divulged, free, learned, and valiant, and in dimension in the state of nature, a gracious person. Yet, I cannot love him. He might have took his answer long ago.
If I did love you in my master's flame, with such a suffering, such a deadly life, in your denial I would find no sense. I would not understand it.
Why, what would you?
Make me a willow cabin at your gate, and call upon my soul within the house. Write loyal cantons of contemned love, and sing them loud, even in the dead of night. Halloa your name to the reverberant hills, and make the babbling gossip of the air cry out, Olivia! Oh, you should not rest between the elements of earth and air, but you should pity me.
You might do much. What is your parentage?
Above my fortunes, yet my state as well. I am a gentleman.
Get you to your lord. I cannot love him. Let him send no more. Unless, perchance, you come again to tell me how he takes it. Fare you well. I thank you for your pains. Bend this for me.
I am no feed post, lady. Keep your purse. My master, not myself, lacks recompense. Love make his heart a flint that you shall love. And may your fervors, like my master's, be placed in contempt. Farewell, fair cruelty.
What is your parentage? Above my fortunes, yet my state as well. I am a gentleman. I'll be sworn thou art. Thy tongue, face, limbs, actions, and spirit do give thee 5-fold blazon. Not too fast. Soft, soft. Unless the master were the man. How now? Even so quickly may one catch the plague. Methinks I feel this youth's perfections with an invisible and subtle self to creep in at mine eyes. Well, let it be. How now, Malvolio?
Here, lady, at your service.
Run after that same peevish messenger, the county's man. He left this ring behind him, would I or no. Tell him I'll none of it. Desire him not to flatter with his lord, nor hold him up with hopes. I am not for him. If that youth will come this way tomorrow, I'll give him reason for it. Hie thee, Malvolio.
Madam, I will.
I do, I know not what, and fear to find mine eye too great a flatterer for my mind. Fate, show thy force. Ourselves we do not owe. What is decreed must be, and be this so.
Will you stay no longer, nor will you not that I go with you?
By your patience, no. My stars shine darkly over me. The malignancy of my fate might perhaps distemper yours. Therefore, I shall crave of you your leave, that I may bear my troubles alone. It were a bad recompense to lay any of them on you.
Let me yet know of whither you are bound.
No, sooth, sir. My determinate voyage is mere extravagancy. But I perceive in you so excellent a touch of modesty that you will not extort from me what I'm willing to keep in. Therefore, it charges me in manners to rather to express myself. You must know of me then, Antonio. My name is Sebastian, which I called Rodrigo. My father was that Sebastian of Messalin, whom I know you have heard of. He left behind him myself and a sister, both born in an hour. If the heavens had been pleased, would we have so ended. For some hour before you took me from the breach of the sea, was my sister drowned.
Alas the day!
A lady, sir, though it was said she much resembled me, was yet of many accounted beautiful, though I could not with such estimable wonder over far believe that. Yet thus far I will boldly publish her. She bore a mind that envy could not recall fair. She is drowned already, sir, with salt water. though I seem to drown her remembrance again with more.
Pardon me, sir. Your bad entertainment.
Oh, good Antonio. Forgive me your trouble.
If you will not murder me for my love, let me be your servant.
If you will not undo what you have done, that is, kill him whom you have recovered, desire it not. Fare you well at once. My bosom is full of kindness, and I am yet so near the manners of my mother, that upon the least occasion more, mine eyes will tell tales of me. I am bound for Count Orsino's court. Farewell.
The gentleness of all the gods go with thee. I have many enemies in Orsina's court, else would I barely shortly see thee there. But come what may, I do adore thee so, that danger shall seem sport, and I will go.
Are you not even now with the Countess Olivia?
Even now, sir, at a moderate pace, I have arrived but hither.
She returns this ring to you. You might have saved me my pains, you have taken it away yourself. She adds, moreover, that you should put your lord to a desperate assurance she will none of him. And one thing more, that you never be so hardy to come again in his affairs, unless it to report your lord's taking of this. Receive it so.
She took the ring of me. I'll none of it.
Come, sir, you peevously threw it to her, and it is her will that it should be so returned. If it be worth stooping for, there it lies, in your eye. If not, be it his who finds it.
I left no ring with her. What means this lady? Fortune forbid my outside have not charmed her. She made good view of me. Indeed, so much that sure methought her eyes had lost her tongue, for she did speak and starts distractedly. She loves me, sure. The cunning of her passion invites me in this churlish messenger. None of my lord's ring? Why, he sent her none. I am the man. If it be so as 'tis, poor lady, she were better love a dream. Disguise, I see thou art a wickedness, wherein the pregnant enemy does much. How easy is it for the proper false in woman's waxen hearts to set their forms? How will this badge? My master loves her dearly, and I, poor monster, fond as much on him, and she mistaken seems to dote on me. What will become of this? As I am man, my state is desperate for my master's love. As I am woman, now alas the day, what thriftless sighs shall poor Olivia breathe? O time, thou must untangle this, not I. It is too hard a knot for me to untie.
Approach, Sir Andrew! Not to be a bed after midnight is to be up betimes. And deliculo surgery, thou knowest.
Nay, by my troth, I know not. But I know to be up late is to be up late.
A false conclusion. I hate it as an unfilled can. To be up after midnight and to go to bed then is early, so that to go to bed after midnight is to go to bed betimes. Does not our lives consist of the four elements?
Faith, so they say, but I think it rather consists of eating and drinking.
Thou art a scholar, therefore let us eat and drink. Mary and I say a stoup of wine.
Here comes the fool at faith.
How now, my heart? Did you never see the picture of We Three?
Welcome, ass. Let's have a catch.
By my troth, the fool hath an excellent breast. I'd rather than 40 shillings I had such a leg. And so sweet a breath to sing as the fool has. In sooth, thou wast in very gracious fooling last night, when thou spokest of Pigogromenes, of the Vapians passing the equinoctial of Quibus. 'Twas very good, i' faith. I sent thee 6 pence for thy leman. Hadst it?
I did impeticos thy gratillity, for Malvolio's nose is no whipstock, my lady has a white hand, and the myrmidons are no bottle alehouses.
Excellent! Why, this is the best fooling when all is done. Now,
Come then. There's 6 pence for thee. Let's have a song.
there's a texture of me, too. If one night's get
journeys end in lovers' meeting. Every wise man's song doth know.
Excellent, good and faith.
Good.
Oh, what is love? 'Tis not hereafter. Oh, what is love? 'Tis not hereafter. Present mirth hath present laughter. What's to come is still unsure. In delay there lies no plenty. So come and kiss me, sweet and 20. Use of stuff will not endure.
A very mellifluous voice, as I am true knight.
A contagious breath.
Very sweet and contagious is it.
To hear by the nose, it is dulcet with contagion. But shall we make the welkin dance indeed? Shall we rouse the night owl in a catch that will draw 3 souls out of 1 weaver? Shall we do that?
And you love me? Let's do it. I am dog at a catch.
By Our Lady, sir, and some dogs will catch well.
Most certain. Let our catch be thou knave.
Hold thy peace, thou knave knight. I shall be constrained in it to call thee knave knight.
'Tis not the first time I have constrained one to call me knave. Begin, fool. It begins, hold thy peace.
I shall never begin if I hold my peace.
Good and faith. Come, begin.
Hold thy peace, and I prithee hold thy peace.
Thou knave, hold thy peace, thou knave.
Why did you keep here? If my lady had not called her steward Malvolio and bid him turn you out of doors, never trust me.
My lady's a Cataya. We are politicians. Malvolio's a pegaramsey. And
3 men may we, 3 men may we.
Oh! Am I not consanguineous?
Huh?
Am I not of her blood?
Hey, lady. There was a man in Babylon. True me, the knight's an admirable fooling.
He does well enough if he be disposed. But so do I, too. He does it with a better grace, but I do it more natural.
All the 12th not in a samba!
My masters! Are you mad? Or what are you? Have you no wit, manners, nor honesty, but to gabble like tinkers at this time of night? Do you make an alehouse of my lady's house that you squeak out your cozier sketches without mitigation or remorse of voice? Is there no respect of place, persons, nor time in you?
We did keep time, sir. In our catches! Snack up!
Sir Toby, I must be round with you. My lady bade me tell you that though she harbors you as your kinsman, she is nothing allied to your disorders. If you can separate yourself and your misdemeanors, you are welcome to the house. If not, it please you to take leave of her. She is very willing to bid you farewell.
Farewell, dear absence, I must needs be gone.
Nay, Sir Toby.
His eyes do show, his days are almost done.
Is it even so?
But I will never do.
Sir Toby, there you lie.
This is much credit to you.
Shall I bid him go?
What and if you do?
Shall I bid him go and burn hard?
Oh, no, you dare not.
Out of tune, sir! Thou liest. Art thou anything but a steward? Dost thou think that because thou art virtuous, there shall be no more cakes and ale?
Yes, spice in 10, and ginger shall be hot in the mouth too.
Thou art in the right. Go, sir, of thy chain and crumbs. A soup of wine, Maria.
Mistress Mary, if you prized my lady's favor anything more than contempt, you would not give means for this uncivil rule. She shall know it by this hand.
Go shake your ass.
'Twas good a deed I should drink when a man's a hungry, to challenge in the field, and then to break promise with him and make a fool of him.
Go to it, knight. I'll write the challenge for thee. Or deliver thy indignation by word of mouth.
Sweet Sir Toby, be patient for tonight. Since the youth of the Count's was today with my lady, she is much out of sorts. For Monsieur Malvolio, let me alone with him. If I do not gull him into a neighborhood and make a common recreation out of him, do not think I have wit enough to lie straight in my bed. I know I can do it.
Possess us, possess us. Tell us something of him.
Marry, sir, sometimes he's a kind of Puritan.
Oh, if I thought that, I'd beat him like a dog.
What, for being a Puritan? Thy exquisite reason, dear knight.
I have no exquisite reason for it. But I have reason good enough.
The devil a Puritan he is, or anything constantly, but a time pleaser, an affectioned ass, that cons state without book, and utters it by great swarths. The best persuaded of himself, so crammed as he thinks he is with excellencies, it is his grounds of faith that all that look on him must love him. On that vice in him will my revenge find notable cause to work.
What wilt thou do?
I will drop in his way some obscure epistle of love, wherein, by the color of his beard, the shape of his leg, the expression of his eye, forward in complexion, he shall find himself most feelingly personated. I can write very like my lady your niece. On a forgotten matter, you can hardly make distinction of our hands.
Excellent! I smell a device!
I have it in my nose too.
He will think by the letters which thou wilt drop that they are from my niece, and that she is in love with him.
My purpose is indeed a horse of that color.
And your horse now would make him an ass.
Ass, I doubt not.
Oh, 'twill be admirable.
Sport royal, I warrant you. I'll plant you two and let Fabian make the third. When he finds the letter, observe his construction of it. For tonight, to bed, and dream on the event. Farewell.
Good night, Penthesilea.
Before me, she's a good wench.
She's a big old true bred. And one that adores me. What of that?
I only thought once too.
Let's to bed, knight. Thou need send for more money, knight.
If I do not recover your niece, I may foul way out.
Send for money, knight. If thou hast her not in the end, call me cut.
If I do not, never trust me. Take it how you will.
Come, come. I'll go burn some sack. 'Tis too late to go to bed tonight. Come, knight. Come, knight.
Give me some music. Now, good morrow, friends. Now, good Cesario, but that piece of song, that old and antique song we heard last night, methought it did relieve my passion much, more than light airs and recollected terms at these most brisk and giddy-paced times. Come, but one verse.
He is not here, my lord, that should sing it.
Who was it?
Festi the jester, my lord, a fool that the Lady Olivia's father took much delight in. He is about the house.
Seek him out, and play the tune the while. Come hither, boy. If ever thou shalt love, and the sweet pangs of it remember me, for such as I am all true lovers are, unstayed and skittish in all motions else, save in the constant image of the creature that is beloved. How dost thou like this tune?
It gives a very echo to the seat where love is throned.
Thou dost speak masterly. My life upon it, young though thou art, thine eye hath stayed upon some favor that it loves. Hath it not, boy?
A little by your favor.
What kind of woman is it?
Of your complexion, my lord.
She is not worth thee, then. What years in faith?
About your years, my lord.
Too old, by heaven. Let still the woman take an elder than herself. So wears she to him, so sways she level in her husband's heart. For boy, however much we do praise ourselves, our fancies are more giddy and unfirm, more longing, wavering, sooner lost in one than woman's are.
I think it well, my lord.
Then let thy love be younger than thyself, or thy affection cannot hold the bent. For women are as roses, whose fair flower, being once displayed, doth fall that very hour.
And so they are, alas that they are so, to die, even when they to perfection grow.
Oh, fellow, come. The song we had last night. Mark it, Cesario. It is old and plain. The spinsters and the knitters in the sun, and the free maids that weave their thread with bones do use to chant it. It is silly sooth and dallies with the innocence of love, like the old age.
Are you ready, sir?
Aye, prithee sing.
Come away, death.
my pains.
No pain, sir. I take pleasure in singing, sir.
I'll pay thy pleasure then.
Truly, sir, and pleasure will be paid one time or another.
Give me now leave to leave thee.
Now the melancholy God protect thee, and the tailor make thy doublet of changeable taffeta, for thy mind is the very opal. I would have men of such constancy put to sea, that their business might be everything, and their intent everywhere. For that's it that always makes a good voyage of nothing. Fare thee well.
Let all the rest give place. Once more, Cesario. Get thee to yon same sovereign cruelty. Tell her my love, more noble than the world, prizes not quantity of dirty lands. The parts which fortune hath bestowed on her, tell her I hold as giddily as fortune. But 'tis that miracle and queen of gems that nature pranks her in, attracts my soul.
But if she cannot love you?
I cannot be so answered.
Sooth, but you must. Say that some lady, as perhaps there is, hath for your love as great a pang of heart as you do for Olivia. You cannot love her. You tell her so. Must not then she be so answered?
There is no woman's sides can bide the beating of so strong a passion as love doth give my heart. No woman's heart so big to hold so much. They lack retention. Alas, their appetite may be called appetite. No motion of the liver, but the palate that suffers surfeit, clement, and revolt. But mine is all as hungry as the sea, and can digest as much. Make no compare between that love a woman can bear me, and that I owe Olivia.
Aye, but I know.
What dost thou know?
Too well what love woman to men may owe. Indeed, they are as true of heart as we. My father had a daughter loved a man, as it might be, perhaps, were I a woman, I should your lordship.
And what's her history?
A blank, my lord. She never told her love, but let concealment like a worm in the bud feed on her damask cheek. She pined in thought, and with a green and yellow melancholy, she sat like patience on a monument, smiling at grief. Was not this love indeed? We men may say more, swear more, but indeed we prove much in our vows and little in our love.
But died thy sister of her love, my boy?
I am all the daughters of my father's house, and all the brothers too, and yet I know not. Sir, shall I to this lady?
Aye, that's the theme. To her in haste. Give her this jewel. Say, my love can give no place, bide no denay.
Come thy way, Signor Fabian!
Nay, I'll come. If I lose a scruple of the sport, let me be boiled to death with melancholy.
Wouldst thou not be glad to have the niggardly, rascally sheep-biter come by some notable shame?
I would exult, man. You know he brought me out of favor with my lady about a bear baiting here.
To anger him, we'll have the bear again, and we shall fool him black and blue. Shall we not, Sir Andrew?
And we do not. It is pity of our lives.
Here comes the little villain. How now, my metal of India?
Get ye all things in the box tree. Malvolio is coming down the walk. He has been yonder in the sun, practicing behavior to his own shadow. Observe him for the love of mockery, for I know this letter will make a contemplative idiot of him. Close, in the majestic. Lie thou there, for here comes the trout, that must be caught with tickling.
'Tis but fortune. All is fortune. Maria once told me she did affect me, and I've heard herself come thus near that should she fancy, it be one of my complexion. Besides, she was me with a more exalted respect than anyone else that follows her. What should I think on it?
Here's another weaning ground.
Oh, peace! Contemplation makes a rare turkey cock out of him. See how he jets under his advanced plume.
Sight I could so beat the road.
Peace, I say.
To be Count Malvolio.
Ha, row!
Pessim!
Peace, peace.
There is example for it. The lady of the Strachey married the yeoman of the wardrobe.
Fire on him, Jezebel!
Oh, peace! Now he's deeply in. Look how his imagination blows him. Having been 3 months married to her, sitting in my state.
Oh, for a stone blow to hit him in the eye.
Calling my officers about me in a branched velvet gown. having come from David, where I have left Olivia sleeping.
Fire and brimstone!
Oh, peace, peace! And then to have the humor of state, and after a demure travel of regard, telling them I know my place, as I would they should do theirs, to ask for my kinsman, Toby.
Bolts and shackles!
Oh, peace, peace, peace! Now, now. 7 of my people, with an obedient start, make out for him. I frown the while, and perchance wind up my watch, or play with some rich jewel. Toby approaches, curtsies there to me.
Shall this fellow live?
Though our silence be drawn from his cards, yet peace. I extend my hand to him, thus quenching my familiar smile with an austere regard of control.
And does not Toby take you a blow the lips then?
Saying to him, Cousin Toby, my fortunes having cast me upon your niece, give me this prerogative of speech.
What?
You must amend your drunkenness.
Out, scab!
Nay, patience, or break the sinews of our plot. Besides, you waste the treasure of your time with a foolish knight.
That's me, I warned you.
One Sir Andrew.
I knew 'twas I. For many do call me a fool.
What employment have we here?
Now is the woodcock near the gin.
Oh, peace! And the spirit of humor is intimate, reading aloud to him.
By my life, 'tis my lady's hand. To the unknown beloved, this and my good wishes, her very phrases. By your leaf wax, soft, and the impressor who Lucrece with which she used to seal. 'Tis my lady, to whom should this be?
This wins him liver and all.
Jove knows I love, but who? No man must know. No man must know? For what follows? The number's altered. No man must know. If this should be thee, Malvolio,
Mary hang thee, Croc!
I may command where I adore, but silent, like a Lucrece knife, with bloodless stroke my heart doth gore. M-O-A-I doth sway my life.
A fustian riddle.
Excellent wench, say I.
M-O-A-I. Nay, but first let me see.
What dish of poison has she dressed him?
And with what speed the Staniel checks at it.
I may command where I adore. Why, she may command me. I serve her. She is my lady. This is evident in any formal capacity. There is no obstruction in this. And the end. What should that alphabetical position portend? If I could make that resemble something in me. Softly. M-O-A-I.
Oh, I make up that. He is now in a cold scent.
Sartor will cry upon it for all this, though it be as rank as a fox.
M. Malvolio. M. Why, that begins my name.
Did I not say you'd work it out? The cur is excellent at faults.
M. But there is no consonancy in the sequel that suffers under probation. A should follow, but O does.
And O shall end, I hope.
Aye, or I'll cudgel him and make him cry. Oh!
And then I comes behind.
Aye, and had you an I behind you, you might see more detraction at your heels than fortunes before you.
M-O-A-I. This sequel is not as the former, and yet to crush it this a little, it would bow to me. For every one of these letters are in my name. Soft, here follows prose. If this fall into thy hand, revolve. In my stars I am above thee. But be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, some of greatness thrust upon them. Thy fates open their hands. Let thy blood and spirit embrace them. And to inure thyself with what thou art like to be, cast thy humble sloth, and appear fresh. Be opposite with a kinsman, surly with servants. Let thy tongue tang arguments of state. Put thyself into the trick of singularity. She thus advises thee, as sighs for thee. Remember who commended thy yellow stockings, and wish to see thee ever cross-gartered. I say, remember. Go to, thou art made, if thou desirest to be so. If not, let me see thee as steward still, the fellow among servants, and not worthy to touch fortune's fingers. Farewell. She that would alter services with thee, the fortunate unhappy. Jove! Daylight and champion discover not more. I will be proud. I will read politic authors. I will baffle Sir Toby. I will wash off gross acquaintance. I'll be point defies the very man. I do not now fool myself, to let imagination jade me. For every reason excites to this, that my lady loves me. She did commend my yellow stockings of late. She did wish my leg being cross-gartered. In this she manifests herself to my love, and with a kind of injunction, drives me to these habits of her liking. I thank my stars. I am happy. I'll be strange, stout, in my yellow stockings and cross-garter, and even with the swiftness of putting on. Jove and my stars be praised. Here is a postscript. Thou canst not choose but know who I am. If thou entertainest my love, let it appear in thy smiling. Thy smiles become thee well. Therefore my presence still smile. Dear my sweet, I prithee. Jove, I thank thee. I will smile. I will do everything that thou wilt have me.
I will not give my part in this sport for pension of thousands be paid from the Sophie.
I could marry this wench for this device.
So could I, too.
And ask no other dowry with her but such another jest.
No, I neither.
Oh, here comes my noble gold catcher.
Wilt thou set foot on my neck?
Or am I either?
Shall I play my freedom at trade hip and become thy bond slave?
In faith, I either.
Why, thou hast put him in such a dream that when the image of it leaves him, he must run mad.
Nay, but say true. Did it work upon him?
Like aqua vitae with a midwife.
Who will then see the fruits of this sport, mark his first approach before my lady. He will come to her in yellow stockings, and to the color she abhors, and cross-gartered fashion she detests. And he will smile at her, which will now be so unsuitable to her disposition, being addicted to a melancholy as she is, that it cannot but throw him into a notable contempt.
Come, bring us where he is.
I'll make one too.
Friend, and thy music. Dost thou live by thy tabor?
No, sir, I live by the church.
Art thou a churchman?
No such matter, sir. I do live by the church, for I do live in my house, and my house to stand by the church.
So thou may say the king lies by a beggar, if a beggar dwells by the king. Or the church stands by thy tabor, if thy tabor stands by the church.
You have said, sir. To see this age, the sentence is but a shriveled glove to a good wit. How quickly the wrong side may be turned outwards.
Nay, that's certain. They that dally nicely with words may quickly make them wanton.
I would therefore my sister had no name, sir.
Why, man?
Why, sir, her name's a word, and to dally with that word might make my sister wanton. But indeed, words are very rascals in themselves, since bonds disgrace them.
Thy reason, man?
Troth, I can prove you none without words, and words are grown so false, I'm loath to prove reason with them.
I'll warrant thou art a merry fellow, and carest for nothing.
Not so, sir. I do care for something, sir. But in my conscience I do not care for you. If that be to care for nothing, it would make you invisible.
Art not thou the Lady Olivia's fool?
No, sir. The Lady Olivia has no folly. She will keep no fool, till she be married. And fools are as like to husbands as pilchers to herrings. The husband's the bigger. I'm indeed not her fool, but her corrupt of word.
I saw thee late at the Count Orsino's.
Foolery, sir, does walk about the orb like the sun. It shines everywhere. I would be sorry, but the fool should be as oft with your master as my mistress. I believe I saw your wisdom there.
Nay, and thou pass upon me, I'll know more of thee. Hold, there's expenses for thee.
Now Jove and his next commodity of hair send thee a beard.
By my troth, I'll tell thee, I'm almost sick for one, though I would not have it grow on my chin. Is thy lady within?
Would not a pair of these have bred, sir?
Yes, if kept together and put to use.
I would play Lord Ponderous of Phrygia to bring a Cressida to this Troilus.
I understand thee, sir. 'Tis well begged.
The matter, I hope, is not great, sir, begging but a beggar. Cressida was a beggar. My lady is within. I will console them whence you come. Who you are and what you would are out of my welkin. I might say elements, but the word is overworn.
This fellow is wise enough to play the fool, and to do so well craves a kind of wit. He must observe their mood on whom he jests, the quality of persons, and the time, and like the haggard, check at every feather that comes before his eyes. This is a practice as full of labor as the wise men's art. For folly that he wisely shows is fit, but wise men, folly fall, quite taint their wit.
Gentlemen, God save you.
And you, sir?
Tous gardez mon sewer.
Et voici votre serviteur.
I hope so you are, and I'm yours.
Will you encounter the house? My niece is desirous you should enter, if your trade be to her.
I am bound to your niece, sir. I mean, she is the list of my voyage.
Haste your legs, sir. Put them in motion.
My legs do better understand me, sir, than I understand what you mean by bidding me taste my legs.
I mean to go, sir, to enter.
I will answer you with gate and entrance. But we are prevented. Most radiant, exquisite beauty, the heavens rain odors on you.
That youth's a rare courtier. Rain odors. Well.
My matter has no voice but to your own most pregnant and vouchsafed ear.
Odors. Pregnant. Vouchsafe. I'll get them all three already.
Let the garden door be shut and leave me to my hearing. Give me your hand, sir. My duty, madam, and most humble service. What is your name? Cesario is your servant's name, fair princess. My servant, sir, 'twas never merry world since lowly feigning was called compliment. Your servant to the Count Orsino, youth. And he is yours, and his must needs be yours. Your servant's servant is your servant, fair madam. For him, I think not on him. For his thoughts, would they were blanks rather than filled with me. Madam, I come to lecture gentle thoughts on his behalf. Oh, by your leave, I pray you, I bid you never speak again of him. But, would you undertake another suit? I'd rather hear you to solicit that than music from the spheres. Dear lady, oh, I beseech you, I did send, after the last enchantment you did hear, a ring in chase of you. So did I abuse, myself, my servant, and I fear me you. Under your hard construction must I sit, to force that on you in a shameful cunning which you knew none of yours. What might you think? Have you not set mine honor at the stake, and baited it with all the unmuzzled thoughts that tyrannous heart can think? To one of your receiving, enough is shown. A cypress, not a bosom, hides my heart. So, let me hear you speak. I pity you. That's a degree to love? No, not agrees. For 'tis a vulgar proof that very oft we pity enemies. Why then, methinks 'tis time to smile again. Oh, world, how apt the poor are to be proud. If one is to be a prey, how much the better to fall before the lion than the wolf. The clock upbraids me with the waste of time. Fear not, good youth, I will not have you. Yet, when wit and youth are come to harvest, your wife is like to reap a proper man. There lies your way, due west. Then westward ho! Grace and good disposition attend your ladyship. You'll nothing, madam, to my lord by me. Stay, I prithee, tell me what thou thinkest of me. That you do think you are not what you are. If I think so, I think the same of you. Then think you right. I am not what I am. I would you were as I would have you be. Would it be better, madam, than I am? I wish it might, for now I am your fool. Oh, what a deal of scorn looks beautiful in the contempt and anger of his lip. A murderous guilt shows not itself more soon than love that would seem hid. Love's night is noon. Cesario, by the roses of the spring, by maidhood, honor, truth, and everything, I love thee, so that maugre all thy pride, nor wit nor reason can my passion hide. Do not extort thy reasons from this clause, for that I woo, thou therefore hast no cause, but rather reason thus with reason fetter. Love sought is good, but given unsought is better. By innocence I swear, and by my youth, I have one heart, one bosom, and one truth, and that
no woman has, nor never none shall be mistress of it, save I alone. And so, good lady, adieu. Nevermore will I my master's tears to you deplore. And yet come again, for thou perhaps mayest move that heart which now abhors too like his love.
No, face! I'll not stay a jot longer.
Thy reason, dear madam, give thy reason.
You must yield your reason, Sir Andrew.
Maid, I saw your niece do more favors for the Count's serving man than ever she bestowed upon me. I saw it in the orchard.
Did she see thee the wild boy? Tell me that.
As plain as I am seeing you now.
This was a great argument of her love toward you.
Slight, will you make an ass of me?
I will prove it legitimate, sir, upon the oaths of judgment and reason.
And they have been grand jurymen since before Noah was a sailor.
She did show favor to the youth in your sight only to exasperate you, to awaken your dormouse valor, to put fire in your heart and brimstone in your liver. You should then have accosted her, and with some excellent jests, fire new from the mint, you should have banged the youth into dumbness. This was looked for at your hand, then this was bought. A double guilt to this opportunity, you let time wash off, and you are now sailed into the north of my lady's opinion, where you will hang like an icicle on a Dutchman's beard, unless you redeem it by some laudable attempt of either valor or policy.
And, be anyway, it must be with valor. For policy I hate. I'd as lief be a brownist as a politician.
Well then, build me thy fortunes upon the basis of valor. Challenge me, the Count's youth, to fight with him. Hurt him in 11 places. My niece shall take note of it. And assure thyself there is no love broker in the world can prevail more in man's commendation with woman than note of valor.
There is no way but this, Sir Andrew.
Will either of you bear me a challenge to him?
Go, write it in a martial hand. Be cursed and brief. It is no matter how witty, so it be eloquent and full of invention. Taunt him with the license of ink. If thou thou'st him some thrice, it shall not be amiss. And as many lies as will lie on thy sheet of paper, though thy sheet were large enough for the bed of ware in England, set 'em down. About it, let there be gall enough in thy ink, though thou usest a goose pen. No matter. Go about it.
Where shall I find you?
We'll call thee at thy cubiculo. Go!
This is a dear mannequin to you, Sir Toby.
I have been dear to him, lad. Some 2,000 strong or so.
We shall have a rare letter from him, but you'll not deliver it.
Never trust me then, and by all means stir on the youth to an answer. I think oxen and wain ropes cannot hail them together. For Andrew, if he were opened, and you find so much blood in his liver as will clog the foot of a flea, I'll eat the rest of the anatomy.
And 'tis opposite the youth, bears in him no great presage of cruelty.
Look where the youngest wren of mine comes.
If you desire this spleen and will lack for some stitches, follow me. Young my bully Austrian heathen, a very renegado. For there is no Christian that means to be saved by believing rightly, can ever believe such impossible passages of grossness. He's in yellow stockings.
And cross-gartered.
Most villainously, like a penny that keeps the school in the church. I have dogged him like his murderer. He would disobey every point of the letter I dropped to betray him. He does smile his face and in more lines as in the new map with the augmentation of the Indies. You have not seen such a thing as 'tis. I can hardly throw hurling things at him. I know my lady will strike him, and if she do, he'll smile and take it for a great favor.
Come, bring us where he is.
I would not by my will have troubled you, but since you make your pleasure of your pains, I will no further chide you.
I could not stay behind you. My desire, more sharp than filed steel, did spur me forth, and not all love to see you, though so much as might have drawn one to a longer voyage. But jealousy, by what might befall your travel, being skilless in these parts, which to a stranger, unguided and unfriended, often prove rough and unhospitable. My willing love, that rather by these arguments of fear, set forth in your pursuit.
My kind Antonio, I can no other answer make but thanks, and ever thanks. And oft good turns are shuffled off with such uncurrent pay. But were my conscience as my worth firm, you should find better dealing. What's to do? Shall we see the relics of this town?
Tomorrow, sir. Best first to see your lodging.
I am not weary, and 'tis long till night. I pray you, let us satisfy our eyes with the memorials and things of fame that do renow this city.
Would you pardon me? I do not without danger walk these streets. Once in a sea fight against the Count his galleys, I did some service, of such note indeed, that were I twain here, it would scarce be answered.
Belike you slew a great number of his people?
The offense is not of such a bloody nature, albeit the quantity of time and quarrel might well have given us bloody argument. What we took from them, which, for traffic's sake, most of our city did, only myself stood out, for which, if I be lapsed in this place, I shall pay dear.
Do not then walk too open.
It doth not fit me. Hold, sir, here's my purse. In the south suburbs, at the Elephant, is best to lodge. I will beseech our diet while you belied your time and feed your knowledge with viewings of the town. There you shall have me.
Why I your purse?
Happily your eye lights upon some toy which you have desired to purchase. And your store, I think, is not for idle market, sir.
I will be your purse bearer and leave you for an hour.
To the Elephant.
I do remember.
I've sent after him. He says you'll come. How shall I feast him? What bestow of him? For youth is bought more often begged or borrowed. I speak too loud. Where's Malvolio? He is sad and civil, and suits well for a servant with my fortunes. Where's Malvolio?
He is coming, madam, but in a very strange manner. He is sure possessed, madam.
Why, what's the matter? Does he rave?
No, he does nothing but smile. Your ladyship were best to have some guard about you. If he come, for sure the man is ta'en his wits.
Go, call him hither. I'm as mad as he, if sad and merry madness equal be. How now, Malvolio?
Sweet lady! Ho ho!
Smilest thou? I sent for thee upon a sad occasion.
Sad? I could be sad. This does make some obstruction in the blood, this cross-garter. But what of that? If it please the eye of one, it is with me as the virtue sonnet is, please one, and please all.
Why, how dost thou, man? What is the matter with thee?
Not black in my mind, though yellow in my legs. It came into his hand, a command shall be given. I think we know the sweet Roman hand.
Wilt thou go to bed, Malvolio?
To bed? Aye, sweetheart, and I will come to thee.
God comfort thee! Why dost thou smile so and kiss thy hand so oft? How do you, Malvolio?
At your request, yes. Nightingales answer dogs.
Why appear you with this ridiculous boldness before my lady?
Be not afraid of greatness, 'twas well written.
What meanst thou by that, Malvolio?
Some are born great. Some achieve greatness.
What sayest thou?
Some of greatness thrust upon them.
Heaven restore thee.
Remember who commended thy yellow stockings,
Thy yellow stocking.
and wished to see thee ever cross-gartered.
Cross-gartered?
Go to, thou art made, if thou desirest to be so.
Am I maid?
If not, let me see thee a steward still.
Why, this is very midsummer madness.
Madam, the young gentleman of the Count Orsino's is returned. I could hardly entreat him back. He attends your ladyship's pleasure.
I'll come to him. Good Maria, let this fellow be looked to. Where's my cousin Toby? Let him and my people have a special care of him. I would not have him miscarry for the half of my dowry.
Oh ho! Do you come near me now? No worse man than Sir Toby to look to me. This concurs directly with the letter. She sends him on purpose that I may appear stubborn to him. For she incites me to that in the letter. Cast thy humble sloth, says she. Be opposite with a kinsman, surly with servants. Let thy tongue hang arguments of state. Put thyself into the trick of singularity, and consequently sets down the manner how, as a sad-faced, a reverend carriage, a slow tongue, and the manner of some sir of note, and so forth. I have limed her, and when she went away now, let this fellow be looked to. Fellow! Not Malvolio, nor is my degree, but fellow. Why, everything adheres together, that no dram of a scruple, no scruple of a scruple, no obstacle, no incredulous or unsafe circumstance. What can be said? Nothing that can be can come between me and the full prospect of my hopes. Well, Jove, not I, is the doer of this, and he is to be thanked.
Which way is it in the name of sanctity? If all the devils of hell be drawn in little, and Legion himself possessed him, yet I'll speak to him.
Here he is, here he is. How is it with you, sir? How is it with you, man?
Go off, I discard you. Let me enjoy my private. Go off.
Lo, and you speak of the devil out. Lo, how all of the fiends speaks within him. Did I not tell you, Sir Toby, my lady bids you have a care of him?
Aha! Does she so?
Go to, peace, peace. We must deal gently with him. How do you, Malay? How is it with you, man? What man defy the devil? Consider he's an enemy to mankind.
Do you know what you say?
Lo, and you speak of the devil how he takes to heart. Pray God he be not bewitched.
Carry his water to the wise woman.
Marry, and I'll do it tomorrow if I live. My lady will not lose him for more than I'll say.
How now, mistress?
Oh, Lord.
Prithee, hold thy peace. This is not the way. Do you not see you move him? Let me alone with him.
No way but gentleness. Gently, gently. The fiend is rough, but will not be roughly used.
Why, how now, my buck-up? How dost thou, Chuck?
Sir!
Aye, biddy, come with me. What man does not for gravity to play to chariot with Satan? Hang him, foul collier.
Get him to say his prayers, good Sir Toby. Get him to pray.
My prayers minks.
No, I warned you, he will not hear of godliness.
Go hang yourselves all. Your idle shallow things. I am not of your element. You shall know more hereafter.
Is it possible?
If this were played upon a stage now, I could condemn it as an improbable fiction.
His very genius hath taken the infection of the device, man.
Nay, pursue him, lest the device take air and taint.
Why, we shall make him mad indeed.
The house will be the quieter.
Come, we'll have him in a dark room and bound. My niece is already in the belief that he's mad. We may care it thus, for our pleasure and his penance, till our right pastime, tired out of breath, prompt us to have mercy on him. At which we shall bring the device to the bar, and crown thee for the finder of madmen. But see.
More matter for a May morning.
Here's a challenge. Read it. I want there's vinegar and pepper in it.
Is this so saucy?
Aye, is it? I warrant him. Do but read.
Give me. Youth, whatsoever thou art but a scurvy fellow.
Good and valiant.
Wonder not, nor admire not in thy mind why I do call thee so, for I will show thee no reason for it.
A good note, that keeps you from the blow of the law.
Thou comest to the Lady Olivia, and in my sight she uses thee kindly, but thou liest in thy throat. That is not the reason I challenge thee for.
Very brief and to exceeding good sense. Less.
I will waylay thee going home, where, if it be thy chance to kill me,
Good.
Thou killest me like a rogue and a villain.
Still, you keep on the windy side of the law. Good.
Fairly well, and God have mercy upon one of our souls. He may have mercy upon mine, but my hope is better, and so look to thyself. Thy friend as thou usest him, and thy sworn enemy, Andrew Agacheek. If this letter move him not, his legs cannot.
You may have very fit occasion for it. He is now in some commerce with my lady, and will by and by depart.
Go, Sir Andrew, scout me for him at the corner of the orchard, like a bombalet. As soon as thou seest him, draw, and as thou drawest, swear horrible, for it come to pass off, that a terrible oath, with swaggering accent sharply twined off, give manhood more approbation than proof itself ever earned him.
Nay, let me alone for swearing.
Now will not I deliver his letter, for the behavior of the young gentleman gives him out to be of good capacity and breeding. His employment between his lord and my niece confirms no less. Therefore this letter, being so excellently ignorant, will breed no terror in you. You will find it comes from Clodpole. But, sir, I will deliver his challenge by word of mouth, set upon Agacheek a notable report of valor, and drive the young gentleman, as I know his youth will aptly receive it, into a most hideous opinion of rage, skill, and fury, and impetuosity. This will fright them so both that they will kill each other by the look, like cockatrices.
Here he comes now with your niece. Give them weight till you take leave, and presently after him.
I'll meditate the while upon some horrid message for a challenge.
I've said too much into a heart of stone, and laid my honor too unchary on it. There's something in me that reproves my fault, but such a headstrong, potent fault it is that it bemocks reproof.
With this same behavior that your passion bears goes on my master's grief.
Here, wear this for me. 'Tis my picture. Refuse it not, it hath no tongue to vex you. And I beseech you, come again tomorrow. What shall you ask of me that I'll deny? That honor saved may upon asking give.
Nothing but this, your true love for my master.
How with mine honor may I give him that which I've given you?
I will acquit you.
Well, come again tomorrow. Fare thee well. A fiend like thee might bear my soul to hell.
Gentlemen, God save thee.
And you, sir.
That defense thou hast, betake thee to it. Of what nature are the wrongs thou done him, I know not. But thy interceptor, full of despite, bloody as the hunter, awaits thee at the orchard end. Therefore dismount thy tuck, be air in thy preparation, for thy assailant is quick, skillful, and deadly.
You mistake, sir. I am sure no man hath any quarrel to me. My remembrance is very free and clear of any image of offense done to any man.
You'll find it otherwise, I assure you. Therefore betake you to your guard. For the opposite hath with him what skill, rage, and fury can furnish in man withal.
I pray, sir, what is he?
He is knight, dubbed with unhatched rapier on carpet consideration, but he is a devil in private brawl. Souls and bodies hath he divorced three, and his incessant at this moment is so implacable that satisfaction can come by none but by means of death and sepulchre. Hobnob is his word, give it or take it.
I will return again into the house, and desire some conduct of the lady. I am no fighter. I have heard of some men who put quarrels purposely on others, to taste their valor. Belike this is a man of that quirk.
Sir, no. His indignation derives itself out of a most competent injury. Therefore, get you on and give him his desire. Back you shall not to the house, unless you undertake that with me. With me, that with as much safety you might enter him. Therefore, on, or strip your sword stark naked, for men you must, that's certain, or forswear to wear iron about you.
This is as uncivil as strange. I beseech you, do of me this courteous office, as to know of the knight what my offense to him is. It is something of my negligence, nothing of my purpose.
I'll make the motion. Signor Fabian, stand you by this gentleman till my return.
Pray, sir, do you know of this matter?
I know the knight is incensed against you, even to a mortal arbitrament, but nothing of the circumstance more.
I beseech you, what manner of man is he?
Nothing of that wonderful promise to read him by his form, as you were like to find him in the proof of his valor. But I assure you, he is indeed the most skillful, bloody, and fatal opposite you could have possibly found in any part of Illyria. Will you walk towards him? I will make your peace with him if I can.
I will be most bound to you for it. I am one that had rather go with Sir Priest than Sir Knight. I care not who knows so much of my mettle.
Why, man, he is the very devil. I have not seen such a virago. I had a pass with him, rapier, scabbard and all, and he makes it with such immoral motion that it is inevitable. And on the answer, he pays you as sure as your feet hits the ground they step on. They say he has been fencers in the Sophie.
But pox on it! I'll not meddle with him.
But he will not now be pacified. Fabian can scarce hold him yonder.
Plain by it. And I thought he had been valiant, and so cunning in fence. I have seen him. Damned right, I've challenged him. That's nothing but a slip, and I'll give my horse great capinet.
I'll make the motion. Stand you here the while. Make a good show of it. This shall end without the perdition of souls. Marry, I'll ride your horse as well as I ride you. I have his horse to take up the motion. I've persuaded him the man's a devil.
And the youth is as horribly conceited of him, and pants and looks pale, as if a bear at his heels.
There's no remedy, sir. The knight will, for his oath's sake, have one bout with you. Sir, he has better bethought him of his quarry, and now finds it scarce to be worth talking of. Therefore, raw, and for the supportance of his vow, He protests he will not hurt you.
Pray God defend me. A little thing would make me tell them how much I lack of a man.
Give ground if you see him furious.
Come, Sir Andrew, there's no remedy. The youth will, for his own sake, have one bout with you. He cannot by the duello avoid it. But, sir, he's promised me, as he is a gentleman and a soldier, he will not hurt you.
Pray God he keep his oath.
I do assure you 'tis against my will.
Put up your sword. If this young man has done offense, I take the fault on me. If you offend him, I for him defy you.
You, sir, why, what are you?
One, sir, that for his love dares yet do more than you have heard him brag to you he will.
Then, if you are the Undertaker, I am for you.
Oh, good Sir Toby, ho! Here come the officers.
I'll be with you anon.
Pray, sir, put up your sword if you please.
Very wise, sir. Every note I promise you, I'll be as good as my word. He'll obey you easily and reigns well.
This is the man, do thy office.
Antonio, I arrest thee at the suit of Count Orsino.
You do mistake me, sir.
No, sir, no jaunt, for I know your favor well, though now you have no sea cap on your head. Take him away, he knows I know him well.
I must obey. This is what comes with seeking you. But there is no remedy. I shall answer it. What will you do now that my necessity comes to make me ask you for my purse? It grieves me much more for what I cannot do for you than what befalls myself. You stand amazed, but be of comfort.
Come, sir, away.
I must entreat you some of that money.
What money, sir? For the fair kindness you have shown me here, and part being prompted by your present trouble, out of my lean and low ability, I'll lend you something. I'll make division of my present with you. Hold, there's half my coffer.
Will you deny me now? It is not possible that my deserts to you can lack persuasion. Do not tempt my misery, lest it make me so unsound a man as to upbraid you of those kindnesses that I have done for you.
I know of none, nor know I you by voice or any other feature. I hate ingratitude in a man, more than lying, vainness, babbling, drunkenness, or any other taint of vice that inhabits our frail blood.
Oh, heavens themselves!
Come, sir, I pray you go.
Let me speak a little. This youth that you see here, I snatched one half out of the jaws of death, relieved him with such sanctity of love, and to his image, which methought did promise, most venerable work did I devotion.
What's that to us? The time goes by. Away.
But oh, how vile and idle proves this God! Thou hast, Sebastian, done good future shame. In nature there's no blemish but the mind. None can be called deformed but the unkind. Virtue is beauty, but the betweenest evil are empty trunks overflourished by the devil.
The man grows mad. Away with him. Come, come, sir.
Lead me on.
Methinks his words do from such passion fly, that he believes himself. So do not I. Prove true, imagination. Oh, prove true, that I, dear brother, be no ta'en for you.
Come hither, knight, come hither, Fabian. We'll withthrow her couplet of most sage song.
He named Sebastian. I my brother know, yet living in my glass. Even such and so in favor was my brother. And he went still in this color, fashion, ornament. For him I imitate. Oh, if it prove true, so is a kind and tempest fresh in love.
A very dishonest, paltry boy, and more coward for a hair. His dishonesty appears here in leaving his friend in necessity. For his cowardship, ask Fabian.
A coward, a most devout coward, religious and...
Slittle after him again, and beat him.
Do so, cuff him soundly, but never draw thy sword.
And I do not.
Come, let's see the event.
I dare lay any money, 'twill be nothing yet.
Will you make me believe I am not sent for you?
Go to, let me be clear of thee.
Well, held out of faith. No, I do not know you. Nor I am not sent you by my mistress to bid you come speak with her. Nor your name is not Master Cesario. Nor this is not my nose, neither. Nothing that is so is so.
I pity. Vent thy folly somewhere else. Thou knowest not me.
Vent my folly. He has heard that word of some great man, and now applies it to a fool. Vent my folly. I'm afraid this great lover of the world will prove a cockney. I prithee, ungird thy strangers, and tell me what I shall vent to my lady. Shall I vent to her that thou art coming?
I pity foolish Greek, depart from me. There's money for thee. If you tarry longer, I shall give worse payment.
By my troth, thou hast an open hand. These wise men that give fools money get themselves a good report after 14 years' purchase.
Now, sir, have I met you again? There's for you.
Well, there's for thee, and there. Are all the people mad?
Hold, sir! I'll throw your dagger out of the house! This will I tell my lady straight. I would not be in some of your coach with coven.
Let go thy hand.
Nay, I will not let thee go.
Nay, dash him alone. I'll go another way to work with him. I'll have an action of battery against him if there be any law in Illyria. Though I struck him first, yet it's no matter for that.
I will keep free from thee. What wouldest thou now? If thou darest tempt me further, draw thy sword.
Nay, then, I must have an ounce or two of this malapert blood from you.
Hold, Toby! On thy life, I charge thee, hold!
Madam!
Will it be ever thus, ungracious wretch, fixed to the mountains of a barbarous head where manners never preach? Out of my sight! Be not offended, dear Cesario. Use me, be not! I prithee, gentle friend, let thy fair wisdom, not thy passion, sway in this uncivil and unjust extent against thy peace. Go with me to my house, and hear thou there how many fruitless pranks this ruffian hath botched up, that thou mayest smile at this. Thou shalt not choose but go, do not deny. Beschew his soul for me. He started one poor heart of mine indeed.
What relish is in this? How runs this dream? Or am I mad? Or else this is a dream. Let fancy still my sense and lethe steep. If it be thus to dream, still let me sleep.
Nay, come, I prithee, wouldst thou be ruled by me?
Madam, I will.
Oh, say so, and so be. Nay, I prithee, put on this gown and beard. Make him believe thou art Sir Topus the curate. Do it quickly. I'll call Sir Toby whilst.
Well, I'll dissemble myself in it. And I would I were the first that ever dissembled in such a gown. I'm not tall enough to become the function well, nor lean enough to be thought a good student. But to be said, an honest man goes as fairly to say a careful man and a great scholar. The competitors enter.
Jove bless thee, Master Parson. Bonus dies, Sir Toby. For, as the old hermit of Prague, who never saw pen and ink, very wittily said to a niece of King Gorboduc, that is. So that I, being Master Parson, am Master Parson. For what is that but that? And is but is.
To him, Sir Topus.
What ho, I say, peace in this prison.
Who calls there?
Sir Topus the curate, come to see Malvolio the lunatic.
Sir Topus, good Sir Topus, go to my lady.
How diabolical fiend, how vexest thou this man? Talk'st of nothing but ladies.
Well said, Master Parson.
Good Sir Topus, do not think I am mad. Good Sir Topus, never was a man thus wronged. They have laid me here in hideous darkness.
Fie, thou dishonest Satan, I call thee by the most modest terms, for I am one of those gentle ones who use the devil himself with courtesy. Say'st thou this house is dark?
As hell, Sir Topus.
Why, it has bay windows as clear as barricaders, and the clarisoids towards the north-south are as lustrous as ebony. And yet complainest thou of obstruction?
Sir Topus, I am not mad. I say to you, this house is dark.
Madman, thou errest. I say there is no darkness but ignorance, in which thou art more puzzled than the Egyptians in their fog.
I say this house is as dark as ignorance. Though ignorance be as dark as hell, never was a man thus abused. I am no more mad than you are. Make a trial if it is any constant question.
What is the opinion of Pythagoras concerning wildfowl?
If the soul of our granddam might haply inhabit a bird,
What thinkest thou of his opinion?
I think nobly of the soul. Nobly approve his opinion.
Very well, remain thou still in darkness. Thou shalt hold the opinion of Pythagoras, or I will allow thy wit, and fear to kill a woodcock, that thou dispossess the soul of thy grandam. Very well.
Sir Topus! Sir Topus!
My most exquisite Sir Topus.
Nay, I am for all waters.
Thou mightest have done it without thy gown and beard. He sees thee not.
To him in thine own voice, and see how thou findest him. I would we were rid of this knavery. If he can be conveniently delivered, I would he were so. For I am now so far in offense with my niece that I cannot pursue this sports to the upshot. Come by and by to my chamber.
Hey, Robin, jolly Robin, tell me how that lady does.
Fool!
My lady is unkind, pretty.
Fool!
Alas, why is she so?
Fool, I say!
She loves another.
Who calls, huh?
Good fool! As ever thou wilt deserve well at my hand, help me to a candle, and pen, ink, and some paper. As I am a gentleman, I will live to be thankful to thee for it.
Master Malvolio?
Aye, good fool!
Alas, sir, how fell you beside your 5 wits?
Fool! Never was a man so notoriously wronged. I am as well my wits, fool, as thou art.
But as well, sir, then thou art mad indeed, if thou be no better in thy wits than a fool.
They have here proverted me. Keep me in a dark house. Send ministers to me, asses, and do all they can to face me out of my wits.
Advise you what you say. The minister is here.
Malvolio, Malvolio, thy wits never restore. Endeavor thyself to sleep and leave this vain bibble-babble.
Sir Topus?
Maintain you no word with him, fellow.
Why, sir? Not I, sir. God buy you, good Sir Topus.
Male amen.
I will, sir. I will.
Fool, 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 I say.
Alas, sir, be patient. What say you, sir? I am sent for speaking with you.
Good fool, help me to some ink, paper, and some light. I tell thee, I'm as well as any man in Illyria.
Well a day that you were, sir.
By this hand, I am. Good fool, some ink, paper, and some light, and convey what I will set down to my lady. It shall advantage thee more than the bearing of letter did.
I will bring it to you, but tell me true. Are you mad indeed, or do you but counterfeit?
Good fool, I am not. I tell thee true.
Nay, I'll never believe a madman till I see his brains. I will bring you pen, ink, paper, and light.
Good fool, I requite thee in the highest degree. I prithee, be gone.
I am gone, sir, and anon, sir, I'll be with you again.
Be gone!
In a trice like to the old fight your needs to sustain.
Ow, fool!
For a dagger of left in his rage and stand cries off to the devil.
Be gone!
I can have that head on else that are you good man devil.
This is the air. That is the glorious sun. This pearl she gave me, I do feel it and see it. And though it is wonder that enwraps me thus, 'tis not madness. Where is Antonio then? I could not find him at the Elephant, yet there he was, and there I found this credit, that he did range the town to seek me out. His counsel now might do me a golden service. For though my soul disputes well with my sense that this may be some error, but not madness, yet doth this accident and flood of fortune so far exceed all instance, all discourse, that I am ready to distrust mine eyes, and wrangle with my sense of reason that persuades me to any other trust, but that I am mad, or else the lady's mad. Yet if 'twere so, she could not sway her house, command her followers, take and give back affairs in their dispatch with such a smooth, discreet, and stable bearing as I perceive she does. There's something in it that is deceivable. But here, the lady comes.
Blame not this haste of mine if you mean well, and go with me and with this holy man into the Chantreville. There, before him, and under that consecrated roof, play me the full assurance of your faith, that my most jealous and too doubtful soul may live at peace. He shall conceal it, whilst you are willing it should come to note. But time we will our celebration keep according to my birth. So, what do you say?
I will follow this man and go with you, and having sworn truth, ever will be true.
Then lead the way, good father, and heaven so shine, that they may fairly note this act of mine.
Now, as thou lovest me, let me see his letter.
Good Master Fabian, grant me another request.
Anything.
Do not desire to see this letter.
That is to give a dog, and in recompense, desire my dog again.
Belong you to the Lady Olivia, friends?
Aye, sir, we are some of her trappings.
I know thee well. How dost thou, my good fellow?
Truly, sir, the better for my foes and the worse for my friends.
Just the contrary, the better for thy friends.
No, sir, the worst.
How can that be?
Marry, sir, they praise me and make an ass of me. Now my foes tell me plainly I am an ass, so that by my foes I may profit in the knowledge of myself, and by my friends I am abused. So that conclusions to be as kisses, if your 4 negatives make your 2 affirmatives, why then, the better for my foes and the worse for my friends.
Why, this is excellent.
By my troth, sir, no. Though it please you to be one of my friends.
Thou shalt not be the worse for me. There's gold.
But that it would be double dealing, sir, I would you could make it another.
You give me ill counsel.
Put your grace in your pocket this one, sir, and let your flesh and blood obey.
Well, I will be so much a sinner as to be a double dealer. There's another.
Primo, secundo, tertio's a good play, and the old saying is the third pays for all. The triplex, sir, is a good tripping measure, or the bells of St. Bennet may put you in mind. 1, 2, 3.
You can fool no more money out of me at this throw. If you will tell your lady I'm here to speak with her and bring her along with you, it may awake my bounty further.
Lullaby to your bounty till I come again, sir. I go, sir, but I would not have you think my desire of having is the sin of covetousness. But, as you say, let your bounty take a nap. I will awake it anon.
Here comes the man, sir, that did rescue me.
That face of his I do remember well. Yet when I saw it last, it was besmeared as black as Vulcan in the smoke of war. A bobbling vessel was he captain of, for shallow draught and bulk unprizable, with which such scateful grapple did he make with the most noble bottom of our fleet, that very envy in the tongue of loss cried fame and honor on him. What's the matter?
Orsino, this is that Antonio that took the Phoenix and her freight from Candy, and this is he that did the tiger board when your young nephew lost his leg. Here in the streets, desperate of shame and state, in a private gravel did we apprehend him.
He did me kindness, sir, drew on my side, but in conclusion put strange speech upon me. I know not what 'twas but distraction.
Notable pirate, thou saltwater thief, what foolish boldness brought thee to their mercies, whom thou in terms so bloody and so dear hast made thine enemies?
Orsino, noble sir, be pleased that I shake off these names you give me. Antonio never yet was thief or pirate, though I confess, on base and ground enough, Orsino's enemy, a witchcraft drew me hither. That most ungrateful boy there by your side, from the sea's enraged and foamy mouth did I redeem, a rack past hope he was. His life I gave him, and did thereto add my love, without retention or restraint, all in his dedication. For his sake did I expose myself, pure for his love, into the danger of this adverse town. Drew to defend him when he was beset, where, being apprehended, his false cunning, not meaning to partake with me in danger, taught him to face me out of his acquaintance, and grew a 20 years removed thing while one would blink. Denied me my own purse, which I recommended to his use not half an hour before.
How can this be?
When came he to this town?
Today, my lord, and for 3 months before, not in rim, not a minute's vacancy, both day and night did we keep company.
Here comes the Countess, now heaven walks on earth. But for thee, fellow, thy words are madness. 3 months this youth hath tended upon me. But more of that anon. Take him aside.
What would, my lord, but that he may not have, when Olivia may seem serviceable? Cesario, you do not keep promise with me.
Madam!
Gracious Olivia.
What do you say, Cesario? Good my lord.
My lord would speak. My duty hushes me.
Fit be out to the old tune, my lord. It is as fat and fulsome to my ear as howling after music.
Still so cruel?
Still so constant, lord.
What, to perverseness? You uncivil lady, to whose ingrate and inauspicious altars my soul the faithless offerings that e'er devotion tendered has breathed out. What shall I do?
Even what it please, my lord, that shall become him.
Why should I not, had I the heart to do it? Like to the Egyptian thief at point of death, kill what I love. A savage jealousy that sometimes savors nobly, But hear me this, since you to non-regardance cast my faith, and that I partly know the instrument that screws me from my true place in your favor, live you the marble-breasted tyrant still. But this your minion, whom I know you love, and whom by heaven I swear I tender dearly, him will I tear out of that cruel eye where he sits crowned in his master's spite. Come, boy, with me. My thoughts are ripe in mischief. I'll sacrifice the lamb that I do love to spite a raven's heart within a dove.
And I to do you rest 1,000 deaths would die.
Where goes Cesario?
After him I love, more than I love these eyes, more than my life, more by all mores than e'er I shall of wife. If I do feign, ye witnesses above punish my life for tainting of my love.
I me detested, how am I beguiled?
Who does beguile you? Who does do you wrong?
Hast thou forgot thyself? Is it so long? Call forth the Holy Father.
Come away.
Whither, my lord? Cesario! Husband! Stay!
Husband?
Aye, husband, can he that deny?
Her husband, sirrah!
No, my lord, not I!
Alas, it is the baseness of thy fear that makes thee strangle thy propriety. Fear not, Cesario, take thy fortunes up. Be that thou knowest thou art, and then thou art as great as that thou fearest. Oh, welcome, Father. Father, I charge thee by thy reverence, here to unfold, so lately we intended to keep in darkness, what occasion now reveals before to strike. What thou dost know hath newly passed between this youth and me.
A contract of eternal bond of love, confirmed by the mutual joinder of your hands, attested by the holy close of lips, strengthened by the interchangement of your rings, and all the ceremony of this compact, sealed in my function by my testimony, since when my watch hath told me, towards my grave I have traveled but 2 hours.
O thou dissembling cub, what wilt thou be when time hath sowed a grizzle on thy case? Or wilt not else thy craft so quickly grow that thine own trip shall be thine overthrow? Farewell, and take her, but direct thy feet where thou and I henceforth may never meet.
My lord, I do protest!
Oh, do not swear, hold little faith, though thou hast too much fear.
For the love of God, surgeon, someone presently to Sir Toby
What is the matter?
has broke my head across and has given Sir Toby a bloody coxcomb too. For the love of God, your help! I'd rather than £40 I were at home.
Who has done this, Sir Andrew?
The Count's gentleman, one Cesario. We took him for a coward, but he's a very devilly cardinus.
My gentleman, Cesario?
Horse, I think, here he is. You broke my head for nothing, and that I did. I was found to do it by Sir Toby.
Why do you speak to me? I never hurt you. You drew your sword upon me without cause, but I bespoke you fair and hurt you not.
If a bloody coxcomb be a hurt, then you hurt me. I think you said nothing by a bloody coxcomb. Here comes Sir Toby halting. You shall hear more. But if he had not been in drink, he would have tickled you at the gates than he did.
How now, gentlemen, how is with you?
That's the one. He's hurt me. And there's the end of it. Saw it? Did see Dick surgeon, saw it?
Oh, he's drunk, Sir Toby. An hour gone. His eyes were set at 8 in the morning.
Then he's a rogue and a passy measures pavin. I hate a drunken rogue.
Away with him! Who hath made this havoc with them?
I'll help you, Sir Toby, because we dress together.
Well, you help an ass head and a coxcomb and a knave, a thin-faced knave, a gull.
Get him to bed and let his hurts be looked to.
I am sorry, madam. I have hurt your kinsman. But had it been the brother of my blood, I must have done no less with wit and safety. You throw a strange regard upon me, and by that I do perceive that hath offended you. Pardon me, sweet one, even for the vows we made each other but so late ago.
One face, one voice, one habit in 2 persons. A natural perspective that is and is not.
Antonio! Oh, my dear Antonio, how have the hours racked and tortured me since I have lost thee.
Sebastian, are you?
Fearest thou that, Antonio?
How have you made division of yourself? An apple cleft in two is not more twin than these two creatures. Which is Sebastian?
Most wonderful.
Do I stand there? I never had a brother, nor can there be that deity in my nature of here and everywhere. I had a sister whom the blind waves and surges have devoured. Of Charity, what kin are you to me? What countryman? What name? What parentage?
Of Messalene. Sebastian was my father. Such a Sebastian was my brother too. So went he suited to his watery tomb. If spirits can assume both form and suit, you come to fright us.
A spirit I am indeed, but am in that dimension grossly clad which from the womb I did participate. Were you a woman, as the rest goes even, I should my tear let fall upon your cheek, and say, thrice welcome, drowned Viola.
My father had a mole upon his brow.
And so had mine.
And died that day when Viola from her birth had numbered 13 years.
Oh, that record is lively in my soul. He finished indeed his mortal act, that day that made my sister 13 years.
If nothing lets to make us happy both, but these my masculine usurped attire, do not embrace me, till each circumstance of place, time, fortune do cohere and jump, that I am Viola, which to prove, I'll bring you to a captain in this town, where lie my maiden weeds, by whose gentle help I was preserved to serve this noble duke. All the occurrences of my fortune since have been between this lady and this lord.
So comes it, lady, you have been mistook, for nature to her bias drew in that. You would have been contracted to a maid, nor are you dared by my life deceived. You are betrothed both to maid and man.
Be not amazed, right noble is his blood. If this be so, as yet the glass seems true, I shall have share in this most happy rack. Boy, thou hast said to me 1,000 times, thou never wouldst love woman like to me.
And all those sayings will I overswear, and those swearings hold as true in soul as doth that orbed continent, the fire that severs day from night.
Give me thy hand, and let me see thee in thy woman's weeds.
The captain that did bring me first to town hath my maiden weeds. He upon some action is now in durance at Malvolio suit, a gentleman and follower of my lady.
He shall enlarge him. Fetch Malvolio hither. And yet, alas, now I remember me. They say, poor fellow, he's much distract. The most extracting frenzy of mine own, for my remembrance clearly banished his. How does he, sirrah?
Truly, madam, he holds Beelzebub with the staves end, as well as any man in his case might do. Has here writ you a letter? I should have given it you today morning, but as a madman's epistles are no gospel, so it steals not much when they are read.
Open it and read it.
Look then, and be well edified when the fool delivers the madman. By the law, madam!
Art thou mad?
No, madam, I do but read madly. And your ladyship will have it as it is. You must allow both.
Prithee, read it in thy right wits.
So I do, madam, but to read his right wits is to read thus. Therefore, prepend thy princess and give ear.
Read it to you, sirrah.
By the Lord, madam, you wrong me, and the world shall know it. Though you have put me into darkness, and given your drunken cousin rule over me, yet have I the benefit of my senses as well as your ladyship. I have here the letter that induced me to the semblance I put on, with the which I do not but do myself much right or you much shame. Think of me as you please. I leave my duty a little unthought of, and speak out of my injury. The madly used Malvolio.
Did he write this?
Aye, madam.
This savors not much of distraction.
My lord, so please these things further thought on, to think me as well a sister as a wife. One day shall crown the alliance on it, here, at my house, and at my proper cost.
Madam, I'm most apt to embrace your offer. Your master quits you, and for your service done him, so much against the mettle of your sex, so far below your soft and tender breeding, and since you called me master for so long, here is my hand. You shall from this time be your master's mistress.
A sister, you are she.
Is this the madman?
Aye, my lord, this same. How do you, Malvolio?
Lady, you have done me wrong. Notorious wrong.
Have I, Malvolio? No.
Lady, you have. Pray you peruse that letter. You must not now deny it is your hand. Write from it if you can, in hand or in phrase. Or say 'tis not your seal, not your invention. You can say none of this. Well, grant it then, and tell me, in the manner of honesty, Why have you given me such clear lines of favor? Bade me come smiling and cross-gartered, to put on yellow stockings and to frown upon Sir Toby in the light of people, and acting this in an obedient hope. Why have you suffered me to be imprisoned, kept in a dark house, visited by the priest, and made the most notorious deck and goal invention ever played on? Tell me why!
Alas, Malvolio, this is not my writing, though I confess much like the characters, but out of the question 'tis Mariah's hand, and now I do bethink me it was she. First said thou wast mad, then camest in smiling, and in such forms which here are presupposed upon thee in the letter. Prithee, be content, this practice hath much but when we know the grounds and authors of it, thou shalt be both the plaintiff and the judge of thine own cause.
Good madam, hear me speak, and let no quarrel nor no brawl to come take the condition of this present hour which I have wondered at. In hopes it shall not, most freely I confess, myself and Toby did set this device against Malvolio here, upon some stubborn and uncourteous parts we had conceived against him. Maria writ the letter at Sir Toby's great importance, and recompense whereof he hath married her. How with the sportful malice was followed, my brother pluck on laughter than revenge, and that the injuries be justly weighed that on both sides have passed.
Alas, poor fool, how they have baffled thee.
Why, some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some of greatness thrown upon them. I was one of this interlude, sir.
One isotopus.
But that's all one. By the Lord, fool, I am not mad. But do you remember, madam, why smile you at such a barren rascal, and you minister not to him, he's gad. And thus the whirligig of time brings about his revenges.
I'll be revenging the whole pack of you!
Pursue him and entreat him to a peace. He hath not told us of the captain yet. When that is known and golden time convents, a solemn combination shall be made of our dear souls. Meantime, sweet sister, we will not part from hence. Cesario, come, for so you shall be while you are a man. But when in other habits you are seen, Orsino's mistress and his fancy's queen.